living in darkness, look for the light, cause the fire is burning and they're helping you fight. It's the fire keepers, the fire keepers, fire keepers, fire keepers, fire keepers. Recovery, Bumper BG, talk recovery. Fire keepers, fire. Welcome to Firekeeper Recovery. I'm Brant.
Bumper Smith.
And this week, I just want to do a quick check-in about, just in general, it's been going pretty good. There was nice celebrations across the United States last Thursday for the overdose of Midburn people. So just everybody that spoke and had great things to say about people they lost. The shout-outs out this week. That was a good part of my week last week. And just keeping that base, getting back to basics is what I've been doing a lot this summer. So just trying to find that solid foundation again for my recovery and just my life in general.
Yeah.
So it's been rewarding and challenging at the same time. So.
That's good. It's good when it's both. For my weekly check-in, it feels like I say the same thing like every week, and maybe some people that might sound like lame or boring, but to me that I get such a peace, of mind, comfort, and knowing that my life is in such a stable part. It's in such a stable place right now. Work is great. When you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work. It's everything is good. The relationships with the people that I love are great. Those are things that I'm most thankful for. I have a home, I have a vehicle, my bills are paid, my health is good, just fatter than hell. But I've just here lately, the past few weeks, I've just been experiencing an abundance of gratitude just for all things, for everyone, just, for life, just gratitude. That's where it's at.
Heck yeah. That's something I am afraid to say. I'm jealous of you that you have that gratitude and some people it may be mundane or whatever but you have that stability is like, man, I am jealous of that. So it makes me want to work towards that. So I thank you for sharing.
And that's possible for anybody and everybody, even people that not just for people who are in recovery, but other people who've never had any kind of experience with being an active addiction. It's it just commitment to it. At the end of the day, I'm the one that has to live my life and answer for the decisions that I make. So I might as well be making the ones that are going to impact my own life and the lives around me in the most positive way that it can. And it's like what Yoda says in Star Wars, or I think it's what he says. Excitement, adventure. A Jedi craves not these things. But life is exciting, and there are small adventures. It's just not not some fantastical, grandiose shit. It's in going out doing stuff with my kids, or just making new memories. Having more good times in the right ways.
Oh yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Just you're having the right memories you're supposed to be having, man. It's a good way I like to look at it too. Instead of in my addiction, I was probably forcing a lot of those things or whatever because you needed that to get your drugs or whatever. You needed some of those things you had to do. So you made yourself like them or whatever. I like coming up with schemes or whatever.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I mean, we were creative in how we procured our substances for sure, and it came out of partially, this evolved a survival mechanism that, substance use can kind of fuck with whenever you use chronically.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a survival. It's a creative. It's I've always heard people that are in recovery are some of the smartest people around, just because of the ingenuity and inventiveness that we had to have to get what we wanted at the time.
Yeah. But heck, also speaking of
I think it was Obi-Wan. Yeah. Now that if I remember correctly.
I know, I remember it from dang Mallrats.
Yeah, all hardcore Star Wars fans are going to be like, that dumb bastard, he got it wrong.
Yeah. I remember it from like Brody saying it.
Yeah.
But yeah, other emotions that we got from gratitude, I lost my segue, I was thinking earlier there. But just about anger and your recovery and how anger comes out in different ways if you don't know how to deal with it. And what I was figuring out, or what I was reading, is like anger is one of the leading causes to relapse or return to use. So if you can control some of your anger, at least know where it starts, whatever, that's a good start to stop a backslide.
Yeah, for interrupting that snowball effect that it can have. Yeah, for myself, and it's anger is one of those emotions. It's totally normal to have.
Yeah.
It's a normal thing to get angry over things. What's not okay is to act out, in anger. I've certainly spent a lot of time beating myself up for things that I've done in the past, bad choices I've made, and that goes along with like the guilt and the shame, keeping myself down, the negative self-talk. And anger was in that cycle of negative emotions, that I let keep me, subject to circumstances of my life at that point. But definitely, like, projecting anger, it's there's a lot of truth in the don't sweat the small stuff.
Yeah.
For example, like if I'm at home, and like something gets spilled, it ain't no big deal, really. Ain't no big deal. Clean it up. It's not worth blowing up over. If I'm waiting in line at the pharmacy and they tell me, it's not ready, come back in a little while, and I'm pressed for time. It doesn't matter how mad I get or allow myself to get, they're not going to be like, oh, you're mad, your stuff's ready now, shit ain't going to happen. So, and I think that when it comes to a return to use and anger being a big part of that, it's when you let it build and build and build and build without processing any of it or doing anything to work it out. Physical exercise is a good way to mitigate, buildup of anger. Clearly it's not something I particularly do, but, I have other things, whether it's breathing exercises, some meditation, other, hobbies, or even just playing that tape through.
Yeah.
And asking myself, is it really that big of a deal that I'm going to allow it to piss me off that much?
Right.
I mean, is it really worth all of the discomfort and suffering, the internal suffering that I'm allowing it to create, just by holding on to something or dwelling on it for a long time? Because that's whenever this shit really builds, and you get something in your head and you just dwelling on it and dwelling on it, and like somebody cut you off in traffic and that morning, and like later on that evening you're like, hey, that motherfucker, if I see him out tomorrow, I'm gonna cut him off. Like whoever it was just lived in your head rent free for a whole day, and all it did was aggravate you and get you even more pissed off. But don't sweat the small stuff. Definitely not.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I learned in my recovery is to find out why something was making me angry instead of, all right, it's making me angry, so why now?
Yeah.
So that's something, it's easy and it's hard because sometimes the answer is pretty easy.
Yeah.
I'm just impatient.
Yeah.
So I need to be more patient. But then there's sometimes it's deeper, so it might take a day or two.
Yeah.
That's why it was making me angry. And it's a lot of times it's something I was projecting on them. I was doing the same things they were doing, and I was seeing it, and I was mad at them because they just see it and then pointed it out to me.
It reminds you of your own, yeah.
And that's a lot of, it's like, so why did I get angry at certain situations?
Yeah.
And why don't I get angry at other situations that seem like it should
merit that kind of, I get what you're saying.
And it's like, do I not care, or maybe I just know how to process that more than that situation?
Yeah.
So,
that's a good insight, Brant.
Yeah, you got to be patient with yourself.
Yeah,
that's a lot of, and like anger also is fear and pain as well. It's like a symptom of that.
Yeah.
So I'm angry because I'm scared, or you could hurt me too.
Fear of loss leads to the dark side, right?
Yeah. We're all Jedi today.
It's crazy that shit's actually, plausible or applicable. I think there's like probably several different kinds of anger, but the two that I want to talk about right now are the anger that you may feel that's justified.
Somebody wronged you.
Yeah, and the other kind is just like if you're like inconvenienced, and you're just like waiting in line at the pharmacy or sitting in traffic and it's a mile long, or you're going up Soco Mountain and like somebody's like doing 25 the whole way, and you're like, but no matter how much bitching you might do, either to whoever's with you or in your own mind, and no matter how much of that internal resistance to the situation you might feel, it's not going to have any effect. It's not going to make things magically change in your favor.
You're right.
It's just, letting yourself get stirred up, for nothing. I mean, and it's, you have to like give some allowance to this aggravation or anger to let it bother you, to let it upset you.
Yeah.
When it's, this other kind, but when it's justified anger, that's a whole other animal, because that, like you said, that involves some pain, like you may have been offended emotionally or even physically, or like your sense of fairness has been, really violated.
Yeah.
And you want, justice or even retribution for your perceived slights against you, and it's understandable, but two wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah.
An eye for an eye leaves everybody blind. All these fucking bumper car sticker sayings, but there's truth in that stuff.
Yeah. And usually an action causes the opposite reaction.
Yeah.
Just because they hurt you, that's the cycle continuing. I'm gonna hurt them, and then all right, now their family's gotta hurt your family again.
It's just like
Hatfields and McCoy.
Yeah, like a game of like, I don't know, like hurtful ping pong. It's a game of one-upsmanship. It's just constantly back and forth. Revenge. Yeah, and that shit's poisonous. Mm-hmm. It is. It just tears families apart, communities. I think that's where forgiveness comes in.
Yeah, and
to forgive someone else, it's not for them, it's for you.
Yeah.
It's not forgetting, it's not letting anybody off the hook. It's for your own peace. It's letting go of, that pain, or even, the anger that comes with it, or whatever else, because when you can hold a grudge, that's when you're holding on to that pain, in your anger, you're clutching it, and you're like, I want something done about this. You're the only one that can do anything about it.
Yeah.
And the thing that, in my experience, the thing that's the most healing and helpful to do is to just let it go.
Yeah.
And it's not always, it's easier said than done. It's not always easy to do that, because if you hold on to that shit for long enough, it feels like it's a part of who you are. It feels like it's a part of your identity. Like, who are you without your struggle, without your pain?
Yeah.
You're still you. You're just clutching onto this shit that's not serving you the way that forgiveness or anything positive would.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That just grasping at straws.
Yeah.
You're like Leo trying to get on that door, and that pain just keep pushing you off like Claire Danes. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, like the anger that you talking about building up because you feel like you've been wronged, and letting that go it's not satisfying either. If you're letting it go, you feel like they won.
Yeah, like they got one over on you.
Yeah, so that's why it's good to let it go and just like not expect anything.
Yeah.
Not expect rewards.
Yeah.
Or just like a lot of life is unsatisfying. It's just what you got to do to make it to the next day.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Not getting mad because, like you said, it only hurts you and it gets your blood pressure boiling.
Yep.
It gets your heart rate up.
Yep.
And it puts you in an unhealthy state. Because that's in that fight or flight. Because your body don't know the difference. That you're just mad or whatever.
Then you're in like a shit mood all day and end up being a prick to everybody,
Mm-hmm.
to your loved ones, to kids even. You're just grouchy, It's, miserable acting. It's not good.
And I guess it's also part of it, knowing your triggers, but also knowing your symptoms, knowing when your anger is starting. Because I know for myself, the start is I can feel my blood pressure starting to rise a little bit.
It's like right in here. It's that internal resistance.
Yeah, and then I start, like, especially a perfect example, if we're at a restaurant and we're sitting there waiting and there's tables open and there are people coming after us that sit down. I'm starting.
Because you make up these reasons why it's happening to you, like, it's because of this.
Yeah, so I know I'm starting to crunch my fingers. I'm starting to look around. I don't make a scene or nothing. I just say, I'm not spending my money here. Let's leave. Let's go somewhere else.
And that's the proper thing to do.
Yeah, because that's the only thing I can do when I'm angry out in public. I can vote with my dollars.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. I don't have to cause a scene. I don't have to be a dickhead. I say, I'm just not going to give you my money. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It can be very tempting to, slam and bang stuff around and just tell everybody just how angry you are and why you think, you were overlooked or skipped over. Yeah, it just sucks when that happens.
And sometimes it's just they had a table for 4 and you had 2 people.
Yeah.
But there's 4 people coming behind me.
Yeah. And see, they don't let you in on that. They just like, table for 2, come on. And you're like,
oh, man, I've been sitting here for 20 minutes. So that's why I'd rather go out to eat. So knowing your triggers, and then like I'm saying, when your body starts to react.
Yeah.
That's before you say anything, so that can help settle you down, so you're not out there causing a scene. If that's a thing that you do where you lash out.
Yeah.
And sometimes maybe that feels good, and you got to do that, but it's still yourself. You make yourself look bad. Everybody's talking about you. Or
you can channel it in productive ways.
Yeah.
But like with in that scenario, or any of the scenarios we discussed, where you start to feel angry, just like any scenario or situation that makes you feel happy or good, where does it start? What does it begin with? It begins with a thought. And the thoughts that have the most power or impact in your life are the ones that you invest the most belief in. Like if I think, well, you know, I can't think of anything right now, but whatever it is, you know,
Well,
if I feel
just like out in a restaurant in Asheville, they're not seeking me because I'm Brant.
Oh, yeah.
Like that. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
just a bias I might have. Anytime they overlook me, it's because I'm Brant.
Right. Okay, you know, and that's where it starts. Is the start thoughts in your mind. The more you believe that that's the reality, you know, it's gonna trigger them emotions that accompany it. And then the more you think about it, the more belief you invest in it, the stronger those feelings are going to get. Until maybe you have an outburst, you know, or react some kind of way.
Yeah.
So a good practice is anytime you have thoughts like that, or any kind of thoughts that come into your head that aren't like problem solving ideas or concepts for work or whatever, if they're not constructive, don't put any labels on them. Like, okay, this is good, this is bad, you know.
Yeah.
Like practice I like doing is if I have to wait, like in line, whether it's at the grocery store, gas station, pharmacy, whatever. If I have to wait a long time, I'll do something to keep myself busy. Usually it's playing on my phone, but even then I won't take breaks. Yeah, I won't complain about it in my mind. You know, because that's, I mean, everybody does that, I'm sure.
Yeah,
you
like,
know, you might,
it's been 5 minutes already.
yeah, in your head you're like, man, what the fuck's taking them so long, man? I'm in here like, man, this is bullshit. And then it just goes on and on and on, and then before long, you know, you're pissed off. You know, but if you, I practice it like not complaining like that, you know.
Yeah.
Not making, you know, nothing. You know, I'm just like, all right, I have to wait. I will wait. And it takes practice doing that, you know, because, you know, it didn't come naturally for me, you know, because...
Yeah, but sometimes I can do that, but then a lot of times the first thought is, wonder what the hell's going on.
Yeah, it's easy to do if you're like in a good mood already, no sweat.
Yeah.
But if you're aggravated about something else already, or if you don't feel well, try it then. Then's the challenge.
Yeah.
You know, that's when the challenge comes. Because it's, you know, you don't feel well, and you want to get out of here. You know, it's been like 15 minutes. I told you it's going to be 5.
Yeah.
You know, you can hear them back there laughing and joking around or fucking off while you're out here waiting. They're supposed to be working on your stuff.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, going through all of that shit in your head it's not useful. You know, it's going to add to that stacking up of your anger.
Yeah.
Until by the time you get home, you're just like, what do you want?
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
And you're taking it out on people that don't deserve it.
Yeah. Or like if you've ever worked anywhere and run into somebody and they just blew up on you.
Yeah.
They probably were on their stacking up anger journey all day. Then something finally happens and you just happen to be the one that it all comes out.
Yeah.
You know, that's why that happens, I think.
Yeah, you just make a joke at the store to the worker and, what? I was joking? Well, they haven't been joking all day.
And it's not a personal attack on you. It's just, you know, whatever they've been going through that day or days, you know, behind, you know, it's just built up. And instead of processing that in a healthy way, they just let it build until finally the straw that breaks the camel's back is you making that joke. Yeah. I ain't not in the mood to hear no jokes.
Yeah.
And so like, what's so, you know, then they
I want to smile.
They have their little eruption, you know.
Yeah.
And if you're the type of person that, you know, enjoys confrontation, then you're gonna be like, oh, you know, because it's gonna feel like a personal attack on you. Mm-hmm. But if you have the insight and the wherewithal to know that they were probably having a bad day and just right now is just the one that happened to come out.
Yeah.
It ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
That'll help you with like you know, their shit won't become your shit.
Yeah, that's what. There's like probably a bumper. I probably saw it on a meme that was how there's 1,000 different stories about you. Like every person that you've met has their own story or
their own version of you.
Yeah. So I like that too because I have a version of everybody that I meet, but that they don't see either. Yeah, you don't know what nobody's going through.
Yeah, that's true.
When you're coming down to it.
Yeah,
man, it's just a lot of projecting of our things on other people.
Yeah. And I think the projection comes because we're not processing it in healthy ways, like therapy or any kind of counseling, or channeling it into productive means, like hobbies or exercise or whatever it is. Whatever it is, it's that projection.
Yeah, and I like it starts with acknowledging it.
Yeah,
that you're angry and that things are happening, and now I need to deal with it before it bubbles up and I erupt like that volcano.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time that I was like truly, really, like very pissed off, angry. Mm-hmm. I mean, it takes a lot for me to reach that point. It always has, but I can't remember the last time that I was that angry. When I flipped out. I think I was probably using when I did,
Yeah.
So, well, no, I can too. I can remember it was just a few weeks back. I was at the river with my kids, and some tourists were there, and one of them had a dog, and he kind of snapped at my kid, and so, no, my kid's all right, but it scared him, so I went from like fucking 0 to 200. Cussed them out. They ended up leaving. And for like a half hour after that, I was shaking. I mean, I was mad. That's like the only time I could probably flip out like that. I thought my kid was in danger.
Yeah.
So it was like an instinct almost.
Yeah. Yeah, dogs and people in public. That's a slippery slope.
Yeah. But before then, it's a long time. Yeah.
Man, that's understandable, man. That's kids, that's family. Yeah. Man, like myself, I don't know when the last time I've been like angry. Around whatever.
Yeah.
I'm more of a roll out. I don't need, why am I getting mad about that or whatever else. I'm more of a, and I'm going to make fun of you and try to make you mad or whatever.
Yeah. It's almost like tit for tat.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick at you.
Yeah.
Or if it makes me mad, I'll just avoid it or whatever. That's why I don't watch the news.
Yeah.
Because that makes me mad. People lying to me.
Avoidance.
Yeah. So if you don't need it in your life, then it's easy to avoid.
Yeah, if it's not gonna benefit you, why expose yourself to it? Me personally, I don't like losing composure like that. Like get angry like that. I don't know. It just kind of feels, unless it's justified. If it's justified, then all right. But the slow buildup of things, or like I get an ice cream, and then they didn't put sprinkles on it, and I paid for them. I'm like, nah, shit, it's no big deal. It's like what, 50 cents?
Yeah. And people go back and I need my sprinkles and I want a discount.
Yeah.
Yeah,
stuff like that. It's, don't sweat the small stuff. Don't take anything personally.
Right.
And it's difficult when it's, maybe people that you love, that you're close to, it's hard not to take it personal. Or if they're having a bad day, and then like an interaction with you is the interaction that they project, and blow up on. It's hard not to take it personally when it's those people. But anybody else, everybody else, like that.
Yeah. It's like I loaned them $20 and never paid it back. I got off cheap. It cost me $20.
Yeah.
It's like they're gonna be mad at me for whatever small reason, then if that's why they want to ruin everything, then all right.
Yeah, $20 is cheap. It sucks when it's a little more, but but like you said, it's just chalk it up to cut your losses. It's not something that's going to tear me up for. Shouldn't be something that would tear you up for days on end. It's like,
to make you want to destroy your life.
Or just to put you in a bad mood, day to day, let somebody else's actions, create a dark cloud over your head, because, no one else is going to feel what you're feeling. It's just you.
That's the biggest takeaway, I think, we can get from it. It's like with anger and mainly anger with the other person is you gotta let it go because it hurts you more than the other person, especially if it's with another person.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not going to confront them about it and let them know that there is a problem, then you gotta let it go.
Yeah, unless you're going to do something about it.
Yeah.
In a peaceful resolution.
Yeah, you just want to talk it out or whatever.
Yeah. If you're not going to do that, let it go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only two reasonable options you have.
Because it eats you up.
Yeah, like resentment, anger, all that stuff. It's like holding burning coals in your hand, expecting somebody else to get burned. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, nah, you're the only one that's affecting.
Magic tree.
Yeah, put that shit down. Let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go.
I don't know the song or I sung it. Frosty. I don't know. Frozen.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go. Yeah.
I just remember it was a movie, but man, I'm not angry. No, I don't know if I was angry today, but I know I feel a lot better.
Hey, talking about shit always helps.
Yeah.
Always helps, you know?
Because I don't even know, but I think I talked about some stuff that I might have not knew I was dealing with, so yeah.
Hey, there you go. Right.
That's why I love talking with you and just whatever we talk about seems to just be whatever we need, man. That's why it's
good. It's the sharing of ideas.
Yeah.
It's good, man. It's good.
So that's about all I have on the topic anyway.
Yeah, man, me too.
And just a shout out before we go, let's shout out mental health, and the best way to help mental health in Cherokee is for a healthy community. So our community wasn't as healthy in the primaries because voter turnout was low, so let's get out there and vote.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can make your voice heard.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll make a difference, but at least you voted. And they can't say you did.
Yep. You want to see changes happen? Get out and vote. Vote. That's your way of voicing your opinion. It's through the vote.
Yeah, because I don't care who you vote for, your aunt, your uncle, or your cousin, just vote and get that little sticker.
I used to be somebody who's like, shit ain't gonna change, so I ain't even gonna vote. So that basically means it's a vote for somebody that I would have voted against.
Yeah.
So
might as well make your voice heard.
Yeah.
And then every person counts, as they say.
Yeah.
Especially when there's like 500 people that turn out. So if you can get everybody to show up, you can turn the whole election. I'm just saying, show up, folks.
Yeah.
And you can make some changes this time.
Yeah.
Without having tribal election boards. But hey, I don't know nothing about none of that stuff. That's just what you hear out in the community.
Yeah.
This is a recovery podcast.
That's right.
So just shout out to everybody that's out there doing it. Keep doing it. You're working hard. We see you. You're shining like You're shining like the superstar you are.
There you go. Yeah.
How about you? You got anybody to shout out?
I would always shout out the Sunrise Community for Recovery and Wellness. Awesome organization. I love them. They love me. My Sequel Dollar and I reentry team. Love them. They love me.
Heck yeah.
We're helping people. We're trying to make a difference. And, just my community at large in Cherokee. All of the recovery community. All in Niski. Everybody we've had on the podcast, everybody that would like to come on, let us know.
Yeah.
We'll make it happen. And also, especially like people that are in recovery, but also their families and loved ones that are supporting them in their recovery.
Yeah.
Shout out to those people because they make a huge impact in the recovered person's life.
Yeah.
So what you say and how you say it has a tremendous impact. So it might as well be positive, loving, compassionate,
Yeah. I love that, man. Yeah. Positive impacts are better than negative ones.
Yeah.
And it takes about the same amount of energy.
Yeah.
To say something good instead of something bad.
I feel better.
Yeah. So say something nice to somebody, it might save their life, man.
Yeah.
You never know. So that's all I have. So for Firekeeper Recovery, I'm Brant Grant.
Bubba Smith.
And as always, we'll leave the light on for you. Eastern Bay, Cherokee, Firekeeper Recovery. We them firekeepers, the firekeepers, the firekeepers, the firekeepers. Yeah, coming to you live from the mountains of smoke. Firekeeper Recovery, bringing you hope. If you're living in darkness, look for the light, cause a fire is burning and they're helping you fight. It's the firekeepers, the firekeepers, 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 firekeepers recovery. Bumpin' BG, talk recovery.